Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're going to do a horror author spotlight. I have with us today Ruth Anna Evans, and has it been 30 seconds yet? Okay, I can say it after 30 seconds. She has a amazing book about pain, and it's called Oh Fuck, It Hurts. Ruth, how are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm great.
Yeah,
Nice to be here.
thank you, thank you. So, like, YouTube has a rule after 30 seconds that you can curse. So,
I did not know that.
as you cannot curse in the first 30 seconds.
Okay. Well, I was a little worried with the title of the book whether it would
Yeah.
be clear. So that's good. I'm happy to know I don't have to say, oh, bleep, it bleeps.
So tell us about oh fuck, it hurts.
Okay, so this is a collection of short medical horror, body horror, um, that is inspired by physical suffering, pain, and medical issues that any of us could have. I have some medical issues myself, like so many people, and it gave me kind of this well of anger, frustration, and despair to draw fiction out of. And then I added in some of those kind of horror elements, like that elevate it to just extreme pain and suffering. And I feel like I want people who read this book to feel like they've gone through something. so, um, yeah, so it's a medical horror collection, short stories. I have a guest author in this, Rick Hoskin, did a story for us, and I actually took submissions for that and did an open call and picked a story that I felt like would be a good balance to my stories. So I was just trying something there with a guest author, but his story, I really love his story, so I hope people get a chance to read that as well. So the book talks about like chronic illness. There's a book in there, a story in there with a man that has a chronic illness where it starts with an itch, and then it just ends up like his skin and his muscles, like he's just slough off. um and the only treatment that's available to him is very disgusting. So it's that kind of thing. And then there's some horror in terms of like the healthcare industry. The first story in there, which is super short, is called Lifeline, and it's a story about if your all of your medical care were dependent on how much money you had, and when you ran out of money, medical care stopped. Um, so, we do sort of live that life where if you don't have money, you don't get good care. But this kind of took it to the extreme, like I try to do. So, yeah, I would call it extreme medical horror.
And I had a chance to read a couple of the stories. Yes, they're very descriptive. Yes. but, at, but at the same time, when it comes to life is painful. Life is
Mhm.
painful. I'm not just talking about mentally or emotionally, but physically. We go through a lot of pain throughout life, especially if
Yeah.
you live full term, which is I think in this country is like 70, 75, 80, something like that. You're going to go through some pain, you know.
Hmm.
And
And we all have pain to look forward to.
yes, I'm 40. I'm telling you, I wake up every morning and my fucking knee hurts, my back hurts. It's like it just
Yeah.
I'm sick all the time.
Yeah. And
But
not only to make it better, not only does your knee hurt and your back hurt, but at some point you might need a knee replacement. At some point, you
oh,
may
that's
not be able to
in their
walk.
future. Yeah,
At
that's
some point, you're going to be with someone having to wipe your ass for you
yes,
because your arms don't work. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, yes,
And don't
I'm
forget about
terrified.
and don't forget about the big old C cancer. I mean, that's waiting in the corner
Absolutely.
too.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody gets cancer. But my mom and my dad and my husband's mom and my husband's dad all have cancer, have had
oh,
cancer. Like,
like,
and that just ruins you financially if you don't have the right kind of health insurance. And
Mhm.
even if you do have health insurance, I mean, those maximum out of pockets are high.
Yeah, and I feel bad for women. Y'all have to go through the pain of childbirth.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have a story about that. And she has the pain of childbirth, which is like her asshole ripping open. Sorry, it's
Oh,
horror.
but
And but then like it gets worse. Because I don't know, did you read the one about the
I didn't
baby?
read it. No.
There's one about a baby. Yep.
Mm,
Yep. The baby's not right.
mm.
So I don't want to spoil her too much.
I,
Do you do
I,
spoilers on your show or?
you can if you like.
Okay, well the baby is very wrong, super deformed. And like it was one of those that as I was writing it, I was like, this, horror hurts feelings sometimes. You know
It's
what I mean? And because like you said, life is painful. And sometimes when you write about those painful things, like, a misshapen infant is not, I didn't write about it because I thought it was funny. You know what I mean? I just wrote about it because this is extremely painful and that's what I'm writing about. Um, but at the same time, it's like fiction kind of does take that pressure off of where you have to be sensitive.
Mhm.
Um, like you can just say it. You know what I mean? You can just say sometimes something is so wrong that it cannot be made right.
And that's the scariest thing about life. The scariest things, some of the scariest things in life are not the murderers and the killers and so forth. It's just living.
Hmm.
Just living is painful, is scary, and
Yeah.
I'm getting to like I'm looking now. I'm 40. I'm looking like holy shit. Like my fucking life has just flown by. I remember
Hmm.
like and like. By the way, so I work in the funeral industry, right?
Oh,
So like
wow.
so I think a little differently than most people. I think about death all the time, and I think about cancer and getting sick and all that stuff all the time. And I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not
Mm.
looking forward to getting old. It doesn't sound fun.
No, no, because the end of the road is the best you can
Pain.
do is like be somewhat healthy and then die in your sleep. Like that is what you hope for. And even that, it's like you're not going to be healthy. But I mean, some people do. I have a friend who she just died. She was 85. Um, and she did not have major health problems and she did not lose her mind. And, you know, she was okay until she was 85. And then she, ran out, had family around, whatever. But still, she still died.
But that's not how most people die. I mean,
No.
there's some stories about chronic illnesses, and yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, who worked on the funeral side. Most people suffer. Like most people suffer for a long. Death is not fun. Most
Mm,
people not quick falling asleep. Most people suffer, and
yeah.
and they
Yeah.
still
I am
say
absolutely signing up for euthanasia if it's an option.
if it was an option, I've already said it. That's the way I want to go.
Hmm.
I do not
If
want
I
to.
got to euthanize myself, I'll do it.
I'm a pussy. I don't want to go. Why would I want to go through that pain? Like if that's going to be the way out, then just let me out.
Yeah. If I wouldn't, if there were a hope that I could
No,
get
for me.
back to normal, then, obviously I would hold on to that hope. I'm not suicidal.
Mhm.
But if there is no hope and I'm just going to have somebody, having to care for my physical body while I'm in pain and suffering, let me go.
I know. We show humanity to animals. Like when
Mhm.
animals, there's no way we let them go. We don't let them suffer. But when it comes to
Yeah.
human being, we're supposed to suffer.
I just need to find out if my insurance will still pay out.
Yeah, no, that's true. Because that is considered suicide. I mean,
I know I need to check the can you imagine that phone call? Hey, I'm just calling to find out if I kill myself, will you still give the money to my husband and daughter? Just checking. Just need to
Checking.
establish
I'm
something
pretty
real
sure that they would
quick.
have a police officer at your door for a wellness check.
Yeah, they
That's a-
would. I mean, it's a valid question.
It is.
It's my
I
policy. I should know.
probably not. That's a good. You know what? That's a good question. I don't think so. I would probably not.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's considered suicide.
But suicide is a mental health condition. I mean, it's a complication of mental health conditions. It's not like you choose to be suicidal.
I mean, if you're a Christian or a religious person, and that is considered suicide, so I mean, you're definitely going to hell.
Yeah, but life insurance isn't based on whether you're going to heaven or hell.
No, I'm not saying like. So I mean, I think that's considered suicide. I do. It's called
Oh,
self-suicide.
assisted suicide is considered
Suicide.
suicide.
I think considered because suicide is in the term.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a mercy.
Mm.
Yeah.
They should change that law, I think, or change that rule.
I think it's legal in a couple of states. I know it was legal in Utah. Yeah, it's legal in Utah because there was that one lady that was dying of a brain condition, a brain cancer, and it was in the news. She moved to Utah and was able to euthanize herself.
Which is
Or
weird.
was that
I'm gonna say, which is weird that it's legal in Utah because Utah is such a
conservative?
Mormon, conservative,
Yeah.
religious state.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised it was Utah as well, but at least there's somewhere.
Yeah. All right, so we just went down a dark path of talking about.
That's what happens when you talk to Ruth Anna Evans. There's all the dark paths.
So your book, was there any point that you were like, oh, I know you just told me the one about the child, but yes, oh fuck, it hurts. So at any point was there like you were like, oh shit, I'm going too fucking I'm going too dark, or was the baby too dark?
The baby, when I was writing that story, I sort of felt like it could be a hurtful story. Um, and I don't want that, but I do put trigger warnings on my stories. So, if you have an issue with, things happening to babies, don't read that story.
Yeah,
So I am okay with some of my writing being a little bit nasty in terms of the pain it could cause. The other story that um, I felt like I might be going too far on was Fat. Um, and Fat is a story, it's getting a lot of reactions, and not the negative reactions that I anticipated. I thought that it would piss some people off. But it's about a very overweight woman um, who has the chance to lose a whole bunch of weight. Um, but there are side effects, and there's a mortality rate of 10%, and she's a single mother. And so she chooses to do it, and it gets really ugly. Um, but the whole time, all of the doctors and nurses are telling him, "Oh, good for you for losing all this weight. You made the right choice," and all of that. And she's just like, just her body is just devastated by this weight loss, and her child is terrified, and she gets very ill. And but the narrative is it's from the perspective of a morbidly obese person. And I wrote it from my perspective, as someone who the doctors say is morbidly obese, which is ridiculous in my mind, because I don't feel that I'm that. But at the same time, that's what the medical establishment has called me. And when you're a bigger person, there's all sorts of medical things that come with that too, in terms of like the judgment that happens to you when you have any kind of medical issue. Like, You go in with knee pain. Well, a skinny person going in with knee pain, they would have recommendations, they would do tests, this and that. You go in with knee pain, and as a fat person, well, you just need to lose weight, and then we'll reevaluate. I have a friend who has just screaming back pain all the time, but because she is very overweight, um, they don't do anything for her.
Mm.
And so, like, that's an important perspective, I think, that needs to be shared.
Mhm.
And the number of people who have related to that story since I put the book out, I feel like it's kind of sad that, that's so relatable. That being treated like dirt because of your body weight is so relatable. Um, we need to do better. Like, the medical establishment needs to do better.
So how do you feel about the medical? I mean the medical system in this country right now. You,
Well, the medical system in this country has saved my health. I have ulcerative colitis, which is um, basically my colon ulcers and bleeds, and I'll have just like uncontrollable bloody diarrhea. Hey, horror show. Um, yeah, so you can't work when that's going on. You can't care for your family. You can't take part in normal life. You can't feel like you can leave the house or like you can't live a good life when that's happening. Um, and the medication that I'm on, I went through a series of medications and a series of treatments, and it was horrible. But finally, I'm now on an injection that seems to be working, but it is $25,000 a shot.
whoa.
Yeah, you could buy a car with one shot, and I need it every 8 weeks. So, um, yeah, the insurance covers most of it, and the m- um, pharmaceutical company has an assistance, a copay assistance for the rest of it, and I end up paying either $0, $5, and then just like at the end of the year, I have to pay $200 for the shot. Well, after my copay assistance runs out, so that's hard because $200 is a lot of money, but at least it's not $25,000 because then I would be disabled. Um, so like that is privilege to be in a situation where you have a potential disability, a potential like life altering disability, and you have the medical treatment to be able to live and work a happy, normal life. Um, so I cannot bash it to the point where I think it's evil. But the fact is that I got lucky. You know what I mean? There are plenty of people who would not even be diagnosed in the United States, who wouldn't be able to go to the doctor over and over and over again, who would be given the first treatment. And when the first treatment failed, somebody shrugged their shoulders and say, I'm sorry, we've done everything we can for you. Or who would be told that they had IBS for 10 years. Um, and that could happen in the United States too, you
Easily.
know? And people in rural areas who don't have access to doctors with the training or um, to the medical facilities, like that you just don't have access to that. And so, I mean, these are realities that is horror. Being desperately ill without access to medical care, that's horrible. And it's true. It's the reality for a lot of people.
It also depends on too what state you live in. I mean,
Hmm.
there's pockets of states that have horrible medical care. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just they're more rural states.
Hmm.
But to not have health insurance in this country is crippling to
Yes.
anyone. I mean, because something as simple as a sore throat or infection, so you have to go to the emergency room, and now you're just raking up thousands and thousands of dollars of
Hmm.
debt, and you you're not going to get the best service. I mean, even if you find out you have cancer, you